First question, are your buyers even reachable on LinkedIn? Before you embark on this quest of social selling on LinkedIn, you want to make sure that your efforts aren't in vain, that the people you're trying to reach are actually going to be able to see you on LinkedIn, either in their feed or in their DMs. And so generally, if they're a white collar professional under the age of 50 and they go to conferences and network with people, if they're recruiting, you should expect them to be on LinkedIn in some capacity. The only folks you shouldn't expect to find here on LinkedIn are probably people in blue collar professions or field workers. So if you've had any success with LinkedIn DMs or InMails in the past, that's a good sign. If your marketing team advertises on LinkedIn and actually gets qualified traffic to the website via LinkedIn, that's also a good sign. But I'll show you how you can actually kind of guess yourself using Sales Navigator. So I'm going to show you three different examples of what Sales Navigator can tell us. So my first example is CFOs in the US at companies over 50 employees. I can see there's 130,000 of them. Usually we expect to see about 1 to 3% of all LinkedIn active users posting on LinkedIn. So that means if there's one person posting, there's 99 people who are actively on LinkedIn, but they're just lurking around. They're still reachable though. You can influence them via the feed. You can DM them and they'll actually check it out, all that kind of stuff. And down here, you'll see a toggle which says post on LinkedIn. So if we turn this toggle on, we see that we drop down to 7,000. So 7,000 on 130,000, roughly 5-ish percent. And so that kind of falls in line with what we expect. I mentioned 1 to 3% actively post. So it feels to me like CFOs are definitely reachable on LinkedIn. Let's look at CTOs in the US at companies over 200 employees. So we see that there are about 50,000 of them, and 6,000 of them, over 10%, have posted in the past 30 days. Pretty active persona. I would definitely try to sell to these folks on LinkedIn. All right, or at least throw it in my channel mix. Let me show you an example of people I would probably not try to sell to on LinkedIn. So I searched for dentists in the US as well as DDS. I'm sure there are other variations I can put in here. Found 110,000 of them, so lots of profiles. But if we ask ourselves how many of these are active, we can click on posted on LinkedIn and we see 927 out of 110,000 is pretty damning in terms of number of active ones. And so this is a persona that I would be a little bit more hesitant about trying to reach on LinkedIn. It doesn't seem like they're super active. Hopefully you can find the filters which work for you and kind of guess if the folks you're trying to sell to would be receptive to DMs and being influenced on their feed and connection requests and all that good stuff on LinkedIn so that you can reach and sell them.